Stuart. You
All
got
right.
it.
Yeah, there has been some, at least attempted looting in the wake of Harvey, and there was actual looting. Texas authorities have promised zero tolerance. Joining us now, Ken Paxton, Attorney General of the great state of Texas. Ken, what have we got here? 14 arrests for looting so far. Is that accurate, sir?
You know, it's actually difficult right now to tell because there's not a lot of information coming about coordinating between departments. Usually we can get the information faster, but my guess it's a little more, but also it's actually pretty difficult to loot these days because there's so much water. It's actually making it harder for the looters to do what they're trying to do.
Yeah, unless they got around by boat, I guess. A nighttime curfew, you put that into effect last night in Houston, meant to crack down on armed robbery and, of course, looting. How did the first night go, Mr. Attorney General?
You know, I think it went well. It was actually put in place by the city of Houston and the county, so I think it went pretty well. I think it's actually a pretty good idea, given that it's hard for our law enforcement to focus on that, given that they're still focusing on rescuing 6 days later.
You are allowed to do that legally? You can tell people, get off the streets? There's no challenge to that?
It is. We've never been challenged on it. It's common when we have these types of situations and we're trying to protect citizens.
Okay. Now, earlier this week, you told us about cracking down on price gouging. How's that going, and have you seen any more cases since the original crackdown? Did the crackdown work?
Absolutely. It's the number of complaints coming in has actually declined significantly. We had a lot in the first day on Saturday. It's gone down a lot. Part of that may be the water, but we're also getting the information out. I don't know that a lot of people knew that this was an issue and that state law prevented price gouging. So yeah, we've had hotels charging 7 or 8 times what they're supposed to, or their normal rate. We've had food places charging 5 times what they should for bread. Water being charged $100 a case. We've had example after example, but those are coming down, we believe.
What about a gas station owner who's got his or her tanks full up, and then they realize there's a heavy demand, so they put the price up 5 or 10 cents a gallon? Is that gouging, or is that just taking advantage of a supply-demand situation?
Well, you know, it's a balance here. We're not going to go after somebody that has a reasonable price increase, especially when we know gas prices are going up. We will go after somebody that's charging $20 a gallon, which we had an example of recently. So, you know, 5 or 10 cents a gallon, not unreasonable. We're usually looking at anything over 10%. We're going to start looking at it, and we're going to take into account all kinds of different variables. But if you're going to charge $20 a gallon, that's price gouging.
Got it. Mr. Attorney General, as always, thanks very much for joining us, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day. Thank you.
Yes, sir.